All right, questions for Coach? Start with Bob Schron.
Evening, Coach. How are you? Coach, it's something you've already alluded to, but in terms of having the defense as one end of the ball in place, what's the plan or the strategy and the difficulty in adapting without practices? I mean, you've got 5 games in 7 days, like, for example.
Yeah. I mean,
Thank you, Brandon.
Yeah, we've got, I think we've got a bunch of guys that are very capable defensively, certainly in our group of guys that will lead us in minutes. And at the same time, here at the start of the season, we've struggled with certain things, but I think we can get better as the year goes on. You can do that through film. You do that through games. I think we've played 3 of the best teams in the NBA, certainly in the East. And I think that'll be good for us in the long run. I mean, I think that when I first saw this schedule, you knew that it was going to be really tough right out of the gate. And it's proven to be that. These guys have a great blend of, obviously there's, they're put in great spots by the coaching staff. And really the only guys that are new are the coaches. The continuity shows itself in a lot of their ability to play together, the way they share the ball, the cutting, finding the guys in position to play with their strengths. Like, they just have a nice balance to them. And so the good news is over our first 3 games, we've played 3 totally different teams that scored totally different ways. And so we'll be able to build off of that and get better, practices or not.
Mark Murphy.
Hi, Brad. Is there any update on Kemba's progress? Has his window changed at all?
No update. No update that I've received other than he is progressing. I think we'll have more of a big picture update here in the next week sometime, as we thought, right around the turn of the new year. He won't be back anytime soon, Mark. Certainly, we're hopeful to get him back as soon as possible, but we want to make sure that when we do, it's for good. And so I think that's the most critical thing from our standpoint. I mean, you can see how we miss him. And, it's funny when we go back and put together clips of things that maybe we haven't covered or things that we'd like to do different. He's in all of them. And so we've got to just figure out a way to be the best version of ourselves until he gets back. And, I think that starts with being a little bit better defensively, and then obviously, getting as good a shots as we can.
Scott Agnes.
Hey, Brad, because of that coaching change you mentioned, how much different does it feel to prepare for this team who's seemingly doing so many different things than the previous staff?
Well, I think that this could come off wrong, Scott. So first of all, I think, Nate Bjorkgren's a good coach. He's got a lot of good things that they're doing. And at the same time, I think everything that Nate McMillan put in place here is showing itself true in a lot of ways. And so, I think we all recognize how good of a coach he was, the way, the physicality, the effort level, the cutting, the screening, the execution. I think that was in place. And then I think with Nate and his staff, they've done a good job of saying, okay, there's a lot of this that really works. That's been good. We're going to keep doing that. And then with a few tweaks and a few different things, and obviously a little bit more 5 out. But I do think that there's a lot that's similar. And I credit Nate Bjorkgren and their staff for recognizing that, because that sometimes isn't done in a coaching change. And that's part of it too. Like, there's a lot that's gone well here. It wasn't Nate McMillan's fault that Oladipo and Sabonis missed 2 straight playoff series. Otherwise, it may have been a different scenario, but both guys are awesome coaches, and I think Nate Bjorkgren and his staff are already doing great things and will continue to do so.
Bob Kravitz.
Yeah, hey, Brad.
Hi, Bob.
Just following up on Scott's question, do you have a relationship with Nate Bjorkgren, or do you just sort of know him by reputation?
I mean, I said hi in the bubble a couple times. We were our eating room was about 50 yards, maybe 20 yards from Raptors eating room, which was unique in a 7-game series. So I saw him here and there in the bubble, said hi the other day right before the game, but otherwise, no, I don't. Just obviously really good coach, has been around a really good staff there in Toronto, and, we'll do a great job here.
Final 2 questions. We'll go to Gary Washburn.
Hey, Brad, what would you attribute the turnovers to, the kind of the unforced ones? And it's obviously leading to runouts and testing your transition defense. Why are you guys being kind of careless with the ball at times?
Well, I think the other day, I think we've had moments where we have been. We were really good in game 1. I don't think it's a coincidence. We won that game with 6 turnovers. I thought that, Indiana the other day was really physical, really aggressive defensively, and it wasn't all unforced. Like, they did a good job of they make you earn everything. They make you fight for every inch. Again, and that's been something that's been going on here for a long time in this organization and this team. So we have to just do a better job of handling that. And I think we have to, do that to other people. Like, we have to pressure the ball better than we have. When I go back and watch us defensively, we're just too far off the body, with the exception of Marcus Smart. I thought that we could have pressured a lot better than we did the other day. Marcus, especially in those times where we were coming back, did as good as he could have done, but we've got to all raise our level of pressure in the ball.
Final question, Abby Chin.
Hi, Brad. I know you've been asked about Payton a lot, but both you and Danny said on draft night you felt like he was a guy who could come in and would be ready to go and help this team from day one. I know Kemba's out, but what is it about him as a player, as a person, that he's been able to make this transition look so seamless?
Well, I think most importantly, he stays in bounds about 85% of the time. So, that's pretty impressive for a young guy. Hopefully we'll get the other 15% corrected. He's a good player. He'll be a good player for a long time. We just, I don't want to overdo it. The rookie hype train can sometimes be a good thing and sometimes be a bad thing. He just needs to keep playing, keep getting better, do the best he can, and try to catch the ball in bounds. That's number one goal. If we can go a whole game without being out of bounds, that'd be quite a victory.
All right, we'll wrap it up right there. Thanks, Coach.